What's going on? My name is Steph and welcome back to my channel, Mountain High Life. This is going to be my first video of 2025, so I thought it was only appropriate to be sharing my race lineup for 2025, as well as some running related goals related to YouTube, and just some other updates for the channel. Before we get into all of that, if you are into trail running, ultramarathon training, or mountain vlogs, consider subscribing. That's what I post here on my channel. I do have my Instagram as well as Strava linked down below if you care to follow me on either of those. Otherwise, let's jump right in. So first and foremost, I hope you had a great holiday season. I know the holidays are a few weeks behind us now, and by the time this video goes up, we're already halfway through January, but I do want to wish you a very happy new year, and I hope it's just been a great time of year for you. I know the holidays can be a little stressful, so that to be said, thanks for being here. Hope you had a great new year. Let's talk about some races. So I'm just going to share my races in chronological order for the year. Thankfully, it's kind of a build up to my A race, which I am just so excited to talk about. But I did originally try to film this video over the weekend. Some things have changed, which I'll get into once we get to that point in the video. However, I think I just included too many details about my kind of training plan for each race. So I'm just pretty much going to tell you what my races are. And as we work through different phases of training, we'll talk about it then. So my first race of 2025 is coming up on Saturday, February 21st, 2025. And I am going to be running the Red Hot 55K in Moab, Utah. And this is kind of a fun race because this was actually the first ultra I ever ran. I ran it in February of 2024. So I'm really excited to go back and experience the race again, see if I've made any improvements. I would love to shave some time off of my finish time from last year. Last year I ran it in 6 hours and 12 minutes, and I would love to go sub 6 hour this year. I will have additional videos. Actually, while I'm filming this currently, I'm filming a week of training video where I do plan on kind of discussing a few of my goals, thoughts around the race in further detail. Like I said, I would love to see some improvements in how a full year of, big mountain running and ultra training has kind of hopefully improved my racing for this ultra, so we will see. I also thought it was kind of nice to set up a race in February earlier in the year to use it as kind of a motivator or focus point for my training. Personally, I think it's really helpful to have a race coming up that you can put some focus into, have, a smaller goal for, not an A race, more like a B race or a C race, where you can use it as something to look forward to, something to train for without it being too far off. Additionally, I really want to utilize the opportunity to train for Red Hot to just really set up over January and February a solid marathon / 50K training base so I can build upon that into the spring. And finally, I'll take any excuse to go to Moab, if I'm being honest. So that was my thought with signing up for Red Hot 55K. Really stoked to return to that. We're like 5 or 6 weeks out. It's kind of crazy. So really excited. Race number 2 is going to be another race that I will be running for the second time, which is going to be on Saturday, May 10th, 2025, which is the Quad Rock 25 miler. Quad Rock takes place in Laurie State Park and Horsetooth Park, both of which I live very close to. I consider these like my backyard trails. I do quite a bit of my training up in Laurie and Horsetooth during spring, fall, and winter. So those trails just mean so much to me. The race is just so fun. I love the course so much. So as long as I'm living in Fort Collins, I anticipate doing this race every year. However, similar to Red Hot, would love to shave some time off of this race. I did run it in 4 hours and 39 minutes last year. I would love to go sub 4 hour 30 minutes, so shaving about 10 minutes off. So we'll see what we can do. This is going to be kind of a training race for me at this point in the season. I'm hoping to kind of use it to do a longer, harder effort to follow it up with a long run, something of that nature. So there is like a training component to it, but I do kind of want to enjoy myself and have some fun and try to race it a little bit. Race it against myself, I suppose. Shortly after that, less than a month after that, actually, I am going to be running the Great Divide 100K, which is going to take place Saturday, June 7th. Right now I'm signed up for it, and it's kind of crazy to be like, yeah, I'm running 100K at the beginning of June, but this is strictly a training run. I am considering some other 50 milers, but pretty much this is strictly a training run. Again, without going into too many details about my training plan, I really want that long supported effort where I can really test out my nutrition, test out my gear, test out my approach. I really want to test my mind and like emotional endurance during this race and run, mainly just to kind of get ready and lock it down because my A race will be 6 weeks after this. I really just want to have like a super long day, big effort with like literally no pressure, but just mainly focusing on, like I said, nutrition and my fueling strategy, which will be implemented for my A race, as well as just like keeping my mind right and keeping things fun and lighthearted and seeing ways that I can try to overcome mental obstacles without it really being that A race or feeling that I have to finish it. Yes, it's 100K, so it's like 10 miles longer than a 50 mile, so it's not crazy, but I do think this is a really good opportunity to test the body and the mind. I'm also very curious to see how I do recover from this race. Like I mentioned, there are 6 weeks from the Great Divide 100K to my A race. So, you know, if it does require a little bit extra time for recovery, I definitely have it. I also am very curious to see how I do recover because I think it'll be very telling of where I'm at as far as my training with a distance over 50 miles, how I do recover, as well as like how my fueling is going. And yeah, just very curious to see. There is less than 10,000 feet of climbing in this race, so it's not anything super crazy. I'm just very curious to see how it goes. So kind of after that, my plan is to just recover and prep because my A race of 2025, and I am so excited to officially say this because when I filmed this over the weekend, I actually was not sure what was going to happen. And coming out here in a video soon, I'm gonna be sharing some details as to how I got into trail running and primarily how I got into ultra marathons. That to be said, when I found this race in August of 2023, it was something that when I found it, I was like, I want to run that in 2025. That's the race. That's the one I want to run. And I am very excited to be sharing with you today that I am going to be running the 2025 High Lonesome 100 miles. I cannot believe that I got in. And actually, I didn't get in. I put my name in for the lottery, and on January 10th, they announced the lottery. And if you aren't familiar with the High Lonesome 100, they do equal participants, men and women. So they have 113 men, 112 women, and I was not in the 112 women. My thought was they would make the announcement as to who got in, and I would film my video because I had plan B, which I'll explain in just a moment. But I thought it was gonna be cut and dry where it was like, all right, I didn't get in, so plan B it is. Well, I ended up getting on the wait list, but I was 6th on the wait list, which is a pretty good position. If you're gonna be on a wait list, top 10, almost top 5, like not too bad. So I thought, you know, we'll just see. And so those people who were selected to participate or register, they had 72 hours to commit to the race. So, okay, Monday night, I'll find out whether or not I got in or if people declined the entry. And so Monday night rolls around and I don't get an email, and I'm thinking, I'm like, all right, well, maybe I'm just, it's gonna be a few weeks, a few months until I find out if, you know, people decline or pull out of the race. But yesterday I was doing my makeup for work. It was Tuesday morning, 7:20 in the morning, and I get an email that says a reservation for registration for the High Lonesome 100 has been held for you by the race director. And I think I screamed. I could not believe that it actually happened because I really started to understand that I probably didn't get into the race and wouldn't find out until like days before High Lonesome if I actually got in. Getting this registration and opportunity is just insane. And I'm honestly glad I was waitlisted because it just makes this entry to this race mean so much to me. It just seems like it's such an incredible race. It's going to be hard, very hard. It's 100 miles. It has 23,000 feet of climbing, and it's going to be insane. It runs on the Continental Divide as well as the Colorado Trail, and I'm excited. I'm so excited. And right now my plan is just to finish it and try to enjoy a long day into night, into the next day in the mountains. Having nothing else to do but focus on finishing this race is kind of my mindset on it right now, but it feels so good to just be able to say, I am doing the High Lonesome 100 miler for 2025 as my A race. I will be thinking about that race every time I put on my shoes to go for a run for the next 7 months. So it actually starts Friday, July 18th and will run into Saturday, July 19th. So the High Lonesome 2025 100 miler. Now I do want to give you my backup plan. If I didn't get into this, what I was planning to do was actually, I think this is a really cool race or event, and it's something I'm considering maybe for next year. We'll see. I'm just kind of like one thing at a time at this point in time, but I was thinking that I was, no matter what, I wanted 2025 to be my year of the 100 miler. I was going to instead attempt what is called the Never Summer Dirty Double. So essentially what this event is, you are participating in the Never Summer 60K and the Never Summer 100K to equate to about 110 miles over 2 days. So that was my backup plan, and I still love that backup plan. And a part of me is really considered, like, now that I'm actually like sitting down and thinking about this, maybe next year, maybe 2026, we return to Never Summer and see what we can do. But I am just so excited that 2025, I can officially say, is the year of 100 miles for me. I am just so excited. It's gonna be a lot of work and a lot of vert and a lot of miles between now and then, but I am so excited to share this journey with you. But before I get ahead of myself, I do have one final race planned for 2025, and this is subject to change. But right now I'm planning to sign up. Registration doesn't open until the beginning of February for the Devil on the Divide 22K, which is about 13 miles. And I have wanted to run this race for probably 3 years now. It runs on the Continental Divide, hence the name Devil on the Divide. I think it'll be a beautiful course and a beautiful alpine, shorter race that I can look forward to. And my thought is, it's a good distance. It's not anything too crazy. Following 100 miles, I really don't know what recovery for that is gonna look like. So I figure remove additional pressure from signing up for a longer race and commit to just something a little bit shorter, but gives me something fun and exciting to look forward to. And my thought is, if I want to, at the end of 2025 or even before Devil on the Divide, I could sign up for more races. But right now I have those 5 races that I am doing. And like I said, some things are subject to change with, the Great Divide 100K or the Devil on the Divide, which I don't really see anything changing for the Devil on the Divide. Either way, that is my race schedule for right now. I really hope you care to join me for this ride to 100 miles. It's gonna be hard, it's gonna be fun, it's gonna be interesting. So we'll see what happens. But I did want to share some of my non-race goals for 2025. There's only 2, but I do like to always set a mileage goal for the year as well as a vertical gain goal. So my mileage goal is 3,000 miles for 2025, and then my vertical gain goal, it sounds absurd, but I think it will encourage me to stay up on my vert as I'm training for High Lonesome, which is 400,000 feet of vertical gain. And last year I did run about 250,000. So my plan is to aim for that 400,000. I think we can achieve it. It's gonna be tough, but I really do think it's achievable. And if you're not really pushing that boundary for yourself, then I don't know. I don't want to pick a number that I'm like, okay, yeah, no, I know I'm gonna hit 250,000 again this year. I know I'm gonna do that. Let's ramp it up and make it a little bit more of a challenge, So some non-running related goals and updates that I would share for 2025 is number 1, that I am continuing my partnership and sponsorship with Jonji for the entire calendar year of 2025. I am so excited to say this. I absolutely love Jonji, as I'm sure you know by now. Jonji is, in my opinion, the best running apparel brand out there. They're ethical, they make quality gear, quality products that last through any ultra, any race, any conditions, and it's so easy for me to talk about them because I genuinely love everything that they make. So that to be said, it's super exciting to be representing them, working with them, and I am just so grateful that I get to wear Janji gear for all of my races in 2025. And if you have any races in 2025, I can promise you when you show up at that start line, you will see Janji apparel all over the place because it is, like I said, simply the best. So if you are curious to check out some Janji apparel for yourself, click the link in the description, use my code Mountain High Life for 10% off your order. So thank you so much to Janji for partnering with me, believing in the channel, supporting the channel, and working with me for the entire 2025 year. So as far as my channel goes, for 2025, I am really excited to have the opportunity to share this adventure to 100 miles through the unknown with you guys here on the channel. So over the next few months, I do anticipate continuing to share front range finds, especially as I start to do more back-to-back long runs. But there's going to be a lot of training videos, including a week of training, different fueling strategies, and with my races along the way, doing race recap videos, kind of talking about different approaches. So there's plenty to look forward to here on the channel. But some goals that I have for the channel is to upload at least one video a week, but I'm hoping to increase my frequency to every other week, uploading perhaps 2 videos. We'll see. That is a goal. Again, it's going to be a challenge, but so we're going to see what we can accomplish there. Additionally, I really am hoping to improve the quality of my videos. So when it comes to quality, I do mean the visual and audio quality within my videos. I do want to try to work on and improve the cinematic quality of my videos, you know, getting different shots as well as working on editing. It'll take some time. So I'm hoping by the end of 2025, we can look back on this video and be like, man, she's doing so much better than she was at the beginning of the year. I do really want to continue to provide good quality content for you, meaningful content, and never lose that authenticity for, you know, trail running, how I'm navigating training, how, you know, mentally I'm doing. I just really want to continue to make good quality content. When I really started uploading my ultra marathon training videos last spring, I did not expect the channel to grow to the size that it has. So I do want to just say thank you so much for being here. I'm really excited to continue to share my journey and running with you. I am so grateful for everybody who has tuned in and subscribed. It's truly a dream come true and nothing I ever imagined possible. So thank you so much for being here. It really means so much to me. Really excited for what 2025 has in store for the channel and for the community, and we'll see what happens. Last but not least, I have someone to introduce you to for the Mountain High Life channel, which is Lottie. She is my new puppy, the new love of my life. She is, at the time of filming, 3 months and 2 weeks old. She is an Australian Shepherd, and I hope to one day have her accompany me on my mountain runs and pretty much all of my runs, to be honest with you. That's kind of why we got this dog. I haven't really talked about it too much on the channel. We did previously have a dog who we had to put down on New Year's Eve of 2023. So last New Year's Eve, and it was incredibly devastating. Over the whole year of 2024, the house was just so quiet. And come November of 2024, I would be sitting on the couch and I would look over and see Chandler on his phone looking at different dogs and shelters and puppies. It took about 11 months for us to really feel ready to introduce a new dog into the family. And I love her so much. It's been a lot of work with a puppy, a lot of time and attention and energy to this dog, but I just know it's gonna be so worth it and such an incredible reward as she gets older and bigger. And like I said, I'm so excited for her to be fully grown, growth plates developed, and we're just gonna be 2 girls in the mountains together, just conquering. It's gonna be epic, it's gonna be amazing, and she's just the sweetest, most perfect little dog. She's a dream come true. So that is gonna do it for my 2025 race schedule, updates, and goals. So if you made it to this point in the video, thank you so much for watching. I know it's a long one, a lot of talking, but like I said, thank you for being here. I really appreciate you. Consider subscribing. I'm also very curious to hear what some of your races are in the comments down below. If you are registered or participating in any of the events I mentioned in this video, please let me know in the comments down below. I love hearing from you guys. I'm very excited to hear about some of your races and race goals for 2025. It's gonna be an awesome year. I just know it. So super excited to see and hear what everybody has in store. Thank you again to John G for partnering with me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Hope you get out on some trail today, and I will see you in my next adventure. Bye.